We ask him to do a lot. I mean, you obviously see he's always running down the field, catching these long plays. He's running intermediate routes. He's running jet sweeps, and he wants to take every single rep. I mean, he's out there for every single one of them to get the timing down. Runs down there, scores touchdowns, and then he's in the huddle again for the next play. And so you hear about that with all the great receivers, but to see it firsthand, I mean, it's truly a special thing.
We'll go next to Diana Rossini. Go ahead, Diana.
Patrick, this is it for us. This is the last time we get to talk to you. So I know we're still, it feels like a long time away from this game, but can we quickly just fast forward to Saturday night and kind of take us through your routine, what you like to eat, and kind of who do you like to talk to? Can you take us sort of what your Saturday night plans are?
Yeah, they're a little different than they usually are, obviously with the COVID protocols. But for the most part, I mean, you go through your kind of your first 15s, stuff like that. You go through scenarios that can present itself during the game, kind of those last end of game scenarios, and then you just go out there and you're ready to play. And I talk to everybody as much as I can in those mill rooms, even though we're separated and everything like that. Then I get in bed, get a good night's sleep. You start visualizing plays as you get ready for bed, and then it's game time. It's ready to go.
We'll go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Sid, I'll have a follow-up to this, but Patrick, kind of related to what you were just asked, except for I wanted to backtrack what's already happened this week. Can you kind of give us a sense of how much extra obligations you have this week compared to a normal week?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ted and Brad did a good job of kind of spreading it out for me, and we kept it where it was only a couple things a day, but just getting able to talk to the media, getting able to kind of give your input on what you think you can do to go out there and execute. But at the same time, you expect it now. Last year was obviously in person, but you got a sense of for what it's like. And this year you get to do it virtually, but you understand what this week entails, which I think will help out a lot of guys in being prepared for the game.
And just as a quick follow-up, I mean, can you give us a sense of what it's like to be answering questions for hours every single day for an entire week?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get used to it, I guess, in a sense. You prepare yourself to go in and try to present the best representation of not only yourself but of the team. And I try to do that every single time and be a good representation of myself and the Kansas City Chiefs.
We'll go next to Jory Epstein, USA Today. Go ahead, Jory.
Hi, Patrick. Thanks for your time today. You've spoken about why it's important to you to work in the community and to be vocal about these social justice issues, but what this season are you most proud of accomplishing, whether it's something voter registration or something that you were able to do with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. Obviously, the voter registration stuff was huge. Not only getting all of our team registered to vote, but to present it to Kansas City and get voting machines in Arrowhead and show that we support people going out and using their voice. But for me, I think it was just the open dialogue that we had within the team. People from all different backgrounds kind of showing their point of views and coming together and making us even closer. That just kind of is a small sample of what we can do in this country in order to help become more unified and to be better as we want to continue to move forward and make progress.
We'll go next to Danny Welniak, KCTV. Go ahead, Danny.
Patrick, hope all is going well. I have a non-football question for you. Obviously, you and Brittany are getting very close to being parents. Are you concerned at all that you might end up with a Super Bowl baby? And how ready are you guys to embark on that next chapter of life?
Yeah, well, first off, we're extremely ready. We're excited. We have all the things planned out and every single gadget and tool you can have to be great parents. But at the same time, I'm trying to tell her to hold off until after the game. But whenever it happens, it happens. But if we can wait till maybe a few weeks after the game, that would probably be ideal.
We'll go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Patrick, I got two questions for you, man. When you think about the speed that's around you, just how much of a difference does that make for your job? And then secondly, talking to some guys who did not play in the game last year, obviously Juan Thornhill, Alex Okafor, you got a ton of rookies with you. Just how nice is it and satisfying to give those guys the opportunity based on the work you and your teammates have done this year?
Yeah, I mean, to your second question, it's definitely satisfying with those guys like that. I mean, like Juan and Alex Okafor. I mean, they were such big parts of our team last year, and they didn't get the opportunity to play in the big game. And I mean, you never know if you're going to make it back here. I mean, we preach that to each other. I mean, every single day. I mean, obviously we're here for the second straight year, but you never know if you'll get another opportunity to be in this game. And so that's a huge deal, and we're going to try to really not take any day for granted and prepare ourselves to be the best that we can be on Super Bowl Sunday. You got to ask your first question one more time for me again.
Yeah, it's just how much does the speed around you help your job, and just how different is it, even when you were playing in college, right? Just the amount of speed and how much that makes your job and just everybody's job easier on the field.
Yeah, it's a tremendous effect. I mean, it's something that's truly special. I mean, having those guys that are physical, but they're also extremely fast. It puts defenses in dangerous spots. I mean, that when they want to bring pressure, and you see how we do so well against pressures, is because I can get the ball out of my hand quickly, and these guys can make plays happen. And so, I mean, it's something where it makes defenses really have to second guess what they want to do in order to stay on top of guys like Tyreek and McCole and all these other receivers that we have. And it opens up the field for guys underneath. And it's something that really is a big part of our offense.
We'll go next to Ryan Dunleavy, New York.
Sometimes on the field, is it pregame when you're pulling on your jersey? Is it kickoff sometime else? When does that switch get flipped? And I'll have a quick follow-up.
Yeah, I think it kind of happens, through the course of the game. I think the most important thing is you just try to, keep your composure, while maintaining, high energy. I think that's really always the challenge. But I think anytime you step on a field, just got to put it in your mind that, everybody's out to get you, and, you got to stand up for yourself, make a play for your team.
Yeah, I think you put it a great way, keeping composure with maintaining high energy. We talked yesterday with Dave Merritt, and we both agreed we don't know how you don't get flagged sometimes for playing to the echo of the whistle, and it maybe seems like the exact line, how much officials are going to put up with out there. How do you do that? How do you know that?
Well, I got a good relationship with most of the referees. They know me. They know I'm a good guy. They know I don't mean any harm. They know I'm just trying my best to kind of raise the tempo and the energy of the people around me. But, like you said, I think it all comes down to, obviously keeping your composure, and, not really hurting your team or getting a penalty that, sets you back.
Okay, next up, we're going to go to Diana Rossini.
Hey, Ty.
Hey.
It's good to see you. It's already Wednesday, but at the same time, it's only Wednesday. We still have so many days to get here. Can you describe what it's been like for you guys, just sort of the last week or so leading up to it? Has there been a shift in energy yet? Kind of explain where you guys are at it as a team now.
Yeah, I think, a lot of the information is in, all the game plan is in. So right now we're, just trying our best to, keep that engine rolling, trying our best not to peak too soon. Like you mentioned, we're still a couple days away from the big game. You don't want to, have too much energy before the game. You want to kind of build up to it. But, I think we're in the right mindset right now. We're ready to go. I think we understand, the kind of team we're playing and the kind of challenge, we got in front of us.
Okay, next up, we're going to go to Nate Taylor.
Hey, Tarvin, good to see you, man.
Yep.
Just wanted to ask you, as a guy who played in the Super Bowl last year, obviously helped the team get to the championship, how satisfying and gratifying is it to make sure that guys that missed the game last year, like Alex Okafor, Juan Thornhill, are able to play in this game, considering it was much about your guys' run it back campaign?
Yeah, I think, everything we do is about the team, man. How can we, lift the people around us? How can we be better as individuals, and, how we can make, life better for our teammates around us. And, obviously everybody have dreams of playing in this game. These games aren't always promised. But I think we're grateful. We're fortunate to be able to be back in this position. And we do have some motivation knowing that, it's a lot of young guys on our team. It's a lot of new faces on our team. A lot of guys who were injured last year who didn't play in this game. And so, it means a lot to those guys. This is their first one. Juan Thornhill, he's just so excited because this is his first game, and this is his first time playing the Super Bowl. So, it means a lot to not only them, but it means a lot to us as well to kind of make sure that those guys are able to kind of win this game and, have that same feeling that we had last year.
Next up, we're going to go to Therese Paler.
Hey, Tyron, how's it going, man?
Doing good, blessed.
Hey, I think I got a question you might like, man. Hey, you and Leonard Fournette went to the same high school.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you guys have visited, before this game about squaring off and against each other, two St. Augustine grads, but squaring off against each other. And how much did that school help you guys on your journey to this very point right now?
Yeah, I mean, me and Leonard, we actually haven't spoke this week about the game. Me and him have been able to kind of play against each other the last couple of years, and that's always been on the bucket list for us. Me and him are kind of different in age, and so he's always kind of been a younger guy, who was up and coming, and so so it's great to kind of see him have some success and be in this situation. It's a great opportunity for both of us. I think St. Augustine, obviously growing up in New Orleans, I think it teaches you a lot, not only as a person, but as a person, who you want to become, in the future, just, the discipline, the different teachers and the coaches that we had that were, really hands-on. I like to say that school, definitely, put us in that mindset to, to dream big and work hard.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Courtney Smith.
Hi, Tyron. How you doing?
Hey, doing good.
So, right now we're in Black History Month, and last summer, going through the protests, I was wondering if there was any music or any artists in particular that you were listening to during that time that really motivated you, songs that, had a good message that, you and your teammates or you and your friends were really listening to get motivated to be out in the community.
Well, I mean, I probably say we got a, wide range of, songs that we listen to. I probably say, obviously, listening to guys like Tupac or, Kendrick Lamar. I think all those guys motivate you, from a personal standpoint. They always make you, think outside the box. Obviously, we're all blessed to be able to make it, this far. And, I think the common thing that both of those guys, really, speaking of music is, it's all about community. It's all about coming back home, going back to the place that made you who you are and trying your best to, make those places, better.
Next up, we're going to go to Todd Lebo.
Hey, Tyron, we just heard this week that you got a couple guys on the COVID list. The barber came in and close contacts. I don't think most people even understood that's the links that the organization was going to, testing barbers and all that stuff. Can you kind of take us inside maybe some of the things that people wouldn't even expect that you guys have had to go through protocol-wise just to kind of get through the NFL season? I think we understand a lot of the testing with practices and stuff, but it goes a lot further, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say just this whole year, outside of the testing and, it's more so about us, being responsible, when we're on our own. So, just being conscious of the people that, we're in contact with, especially being mindful of the places we go, and the amounts of people that are in those places. I probably say that's been the, biggest, challenge, especially for a lot of young guys in the league is, not having that kind of social, community to kind of go to. But I think it's really helped us out a lot, man. It's helped us, obviously get to this point, just being able to focus on ball. But, it's a blessing for us to even, be in this situation, playing in the Super Bowl and make it this far. We got to continue to, handle our responsibilities, outside of the building.
Next up, we're going to go to Nate Davis.
Hey, Ty, I wanted to ask about Steve Spagnuolo. You and he were big differences from the 2018 team to the 2019 team. But, just what does he bring to the table in terms of, you guys beat the Bucs once. He's got the reputation for beating Brady in the Super Bowl in the past. I hear his wife's cooking is great. What are the things that Steve brings to the room?
I mean, I think first and foremost, I think he's a great man. I think he has a great heart. And then above all that, man, he's one of the greatest teachers I've been around. So detailed, so informative. not only are you going to know what you're doing, but you're going to know why you're doing it. He never lets us get complacent as well. He's always trying to find a way to get us better, even if it's by a little bit. I think that means a lot to him to see us continue to progress. But yeah, he's one of the best coaches I've ever been around. Such a great teacher, a guy that can really communicate, with all three levels of the defense, which is really rare. Most guys are specialists at one position. He's a guy that really has a great knowledge of it all.
Next up, we're going to go to Pete Sweeney.
Hey, Tyron.
Hey.
Kind of a two-parter for you here. How does the play of L'Jarius Sneed and sort of the surprise of him this year, Thornhill playing better, allow you to be that ultimate chess piece, whether it's the slot, wide, box, or even sometimes along the line of recently? And then how much do you relish the opportunity that Spags allows you to do that? Not every DC allows necessarily a defensive back, nor do they always have the ability to do that. But how much do you relish that opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always great, man, when you're playing with guys that love the game as much as you. You're playing with guys that study as much as you, and these guys have great ability as well. You mentioned Sneed and Juan, and just they're continuing to grow, in this league. And for me, I just try to be. I try not to get in those guys' way. I just try to be a positive voice in their ear. Obviously, put those guys in position to communicate with them so those guys can play faster and make plays. For me, it doesn't necessarily matter, what role I'm playing, on the defense, whether it's, man or robbing. For me, it's all about the guys around me. How can I get those guys, to play hard, to play better, to communicate more? Because I think, if we're all able to do that, I think we're all able to play fast, play with our eyes, use our instincts and, really make plays on the back end.
Next up, we're going to go to Mark Topkin.
Hey, Tyran, two questions for you. One, Bruce Arians said today you are his favorite draft choice of all time. What does that mean to you? And the second one is, just as far as the schedule, of you guys not getting in till 4:00 Saturday, does that kind of make it still feel like the Super Bowl or not, or how does that feel?
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl, all right. Ain't nowhere around that. It doesn't matter, what it is that's going on. We're gonna be ready to roll, come Super Bowl day. That doesn't matter when we fly in, when we get there. I think our minds are made up. We're ready for the challenge. But yeah, I mean, obviously, it makes you feel good. When any coach tells you, they appreciate you or, they respect you. I think that's why you play the game. Obviously for your teammates' respect and for the fans' respect. But I think mostly, you want your coaches to trust you at the end of the day. And so for me and Coach Bruce, we got a great relationship. Like I said, he was one of the first people in the NFL that really believed in me and, the things that I can do on the football field and gave me a chance to kind of showcase that. And anytime he tells me I'm his favorite draft pick, it always makes me smile. This is a guy that coached Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning, and now he's coaching Tom Brady, and somehow I'm still one of his favorite players. It's just a good feeling.
Okay, next up, we're going to go to Harold Kuntz.
Hey, Tyron, how you doing, man?
Doing good, blessed.
Yes. Hey, Frank Clark said something interesting the other day. He said there's a difference between the honey badger and the landlord. I'm just curious what your thought on that situation. What do you think is the difference between the honey badger and the landlord?
I think the landlord is more reserved. I think he's more collected. I think it's all about the team. It's all about the group. And I think the honey badger is just like this. Like he's so emotional. He's high strung. He wants to make every play. I'd probably say that's really, the difference. The honey badger is, highly emotional. And then I think the landlord is more so, he's collected. He knows what everybody's supposed to do. He knows where he's supposed to be at. But the honey badger, once the ball snapped, he's just like, go get the ball,
Okay, for our final question, we're going to go to Matt McMullen.
Hey, Tyron. You touched on this a bit earlier, but with it being Black History Month, just what's this month mean to you?
It means a lot, man. As a young black man, with a great platform, I feel it's a great responsibility of mine to, continue to lead, not just my colored people, but all colored people, in the right way, in a positive way. Such a great moment in history, for us to really come together, as a people. And so I think that's mostly, what you look forward to, continuing to, spread the message, of kindness and togetherness. But when I think of Black History, when I think about all the sacrifices and, all the obstacles, all the adversity,